Why are we still here? Just to suffer every night.
Dr. Fauci has publicly said that he would support a vaccine mandate for air travel. Is that something the White House is actively considering?
Well, I know that Jeff Zients spoke to this just a little while ago, or I should say earlier this morning. And what he conveyed is that, of course, as I stated, I should say back in August, we have been discussing and looking at ways to provide consistency, to provide clarity, and steps that will ensure air travel, international air travel, I think you're asking about here, but ensure it's done in an equitable way. And the current rules have been quite confusing, or the rules that have been in place for some time, but that's not an indication of a new policy that's forthcoming.
It's good to have you on, Dr. Fauci. It seems to me there's like a fairly natural, I mean, of all the places we go in America that are the most sort of controlled, where you have to go through a lot of stuff to do it, it's getting on a plane. They're also enclosed spaces with circulating air. It does seem like that would be a natural place to have this kind of requirement.
Yes, it would be. But, as you mentioned right now, this is something that is on the table that's being discussed. And as you quoted me correctly, I said that I'm not proposing it. But if the president decided, all other things considered in that decision, I would certainly support that. But you should know that these types of discussions are ongoing all the time, Chris. And it is still on the table. A decision hasn't been made. And when if the president makes a decision, I certainly would support that for the reasons that you mentioned.
Go ahead, Francesca.
Okay, can I follow up on that? Yes, Jeff Zients said today, though, we are considering vaccination requirements for foreign nationals traveling to the United States, that you're working now to be ready to replace the current restrictions with a new system for international travel, reading those words from him. So what is the time frame that you would imagine for that? Are we talking about weeks here? Are we talking about months before the holidays that are coming up? What can you tell us about that?
So I said something similar in August, so did Jeff Zients, about our desire to work through these working groups, which is different from the domestic question. This is about the international component, to create consistent, equitable approaches that will also keep the American people safe and stop the spread of COVID here. I don't have a projected timeline. It's just an ongoing discussion that's been happening since last August.
What is up, you guys, and welcome back to the weird part of YouTube, aka my channel. So as you guys are aware, I've been posting a lot of these travel updates, travel ban related news from time to time, sometimes every day, whenever there's some sort of substantial news that I want to share it with all of you guys. I really am concerned because a lot of these comments down below have been insulting me, saying that I don't give the right information, which is completely not true. I've always made sure that I give the best information, and I'm completely transparent with what exists and what doesn't exist, and keep giving you guys nothing but the truth. Because I read a lot of articles, and obviously a lot of people don't have time to read so many articles to judge which timeline exists, what exists right now, whether the travel ban exists. A lot of people aren't even aware that travel ban exists for UK and everything. But because of my videos, I try to keep it informed for all of you guys. So when people say that, down in the comments that I'm not giving the right information, it's very hurtful. Every day I look at these White House press meetings, press briefings, sit through it 45 minutes, sometimes an hour, sometimes one and a half hours, just sitting through it, understanding where we're coming from. Sometimes there's multiple meetings like COVID, House officials, COVID press conferences and stuff. I sit through it because I want to give out the best information, whatever is right. So I would really appreciate if you guys can keep it down just write down in the comments, if it can keep it not personal, but anything related to the video, because I put a lot of time and effort into these videos. With that, let's get started with the video. So as you notice in the previous half of the video, where Jen Psaki mentioned that back in August, she had said that, vaccine, we're going to have an equitable way to actually do through the vaccine, either through vaccination or through some sort of equitable way to actually open the borders for the countries that are currently in travel ban, which is approximately 33 countries right now. Earlier it was 26, now it's 33. So a couple of countries were added. So again, this whole sort of system is like, there is no sort of timeline. I did mention in my initial videos as well, they said they're going to have some sort of path where only people who are vaccinated can come in, and now they're saying that it might not be there, essentially because the US doesn't trust a lot of other country vaccine. I think that's how they're going by it. So now they're saying that we're going to have some sort of contact tracing, where they're going to have some sort of way to actually ensure that people who are coming in are not spreading any disease or spreading any virus. Essentially, after the Delta variant, now there's a new variant, as in new, the Greek letter new, that is coming in. So a lot of these things, and now the other reason why there is no sort of an update or timeline essentially is because they want the American people to trust the new system when it gets opened up, in the sense like they don't want to open it up and then shut down immediately and blame the tourists for bringing these viruses into the country. So they want to be very mindful of that, because US is losing a lot of money with respect to this. Approximately $198 million was lost, I think, every day or something like that, or every month, I'm not sure, but a lot of money is being lost in that. So that is what is in the thing. So right now it doesn't look like any sort of system is in place. They keep saying it's in the pipeline, and all that stuff. So from what Jeff Zients mentioned in his earlier press conference is that right now he mentioned to the US Tourism Board that there is no update that is going to come immediately meaning this week, the next week, or some sort of within the next 2-3 weeks. No sort of immediate update with respect to opening up this travel ban, opening up for other countries that are currently in the travel ban. So that is where we are looking at. So I had earlier mentioned that because Canada, there might be an update on September 21st, where Canada is, US is supposed to open the land border to both Canada and Mexico. We might see some sort of an update for international travel. Right now, again, there's no sort of an update for that. Maybe even Canada might get extended, which is going to frustrate Canadians who try to come in and about, even Mexican people. So that is where we are. So basically, where we're looking at is with respect to presidential mandates, with respect to vaccine mandates, as long as a lot of Americans are getting vaccinated, the sooner we're going to open up the border. So the sooner we get a lot of people vaccinated, because of this presidential mandate, where at least 100, if an employer has at least 100 people or more, they should get vaccinated. So with that, we can see a higher boost in numbers, essentially because people don't want to lose their jobs. So at least out of right, they're going to just vaccinate people. So because of that, the numbers are going to go up. So right now, currently, no sort of an update, no sort of timeline that is getting worked on. As you mentioned, you heard from Jen Psaki as well. So what about people who are watching here at home? So like I mentioned many times, again, if it's not enough an urgent need for you guys to travel, like in the next few months or weeks, please don't travel, I guess, because like I said, traveling, quarantining in another third country, there's a lot of cost involved. Normal ticket, which is like $500 or something like that, $600, $700, at max $1,000, you're going to double that same amount of money in through traveling, through quarantining in a different country, food expenses, transportation expenses, a lot of things that goes in. So if you don't have an urgent need, definitely wait for this mandates to roll it in and then travel. But if you do have an urgent need, definitely either check out the quarantine option, which I mentioned in all my previous videos. Check out my previous video as well, right down in the description, as well as in the right hand top corner, or you can apply for NIE approval. Unfortunately, for tourist reason, NIE is not mandated, so it's just essentially working groups like H1B, L1B, and other type of visas can apply for a national interest waiver for them to travel directly, because again, you have to work through your lawyers to ensure that the job you're doing is of national interest, which very few jobs are, and they qualify for that, but there are some exceptions. So again, work with lawyers, immigration lawyers, as well as the embassy to get that rolling in. But for B1, B2, there's no NIE approval unless there's some sort of medical emergency or some sort of emergency that can be classified as, like national interest waiver for you to come in. So with that, what are some of the industry experts saying? The industry experts again are saying that if it's not rolled in through, at least again, like I mentioned in all of my previous videos, the travel season is around November, December, because that is our holiday season. Essentially, we have our Thanksgiving here. We also have Christmas holidays and a lot of other holidays like Hanukkah and everything. So because of that, we might see some sort of attraction before that. But again, hearing from the administration in the White House press meetings, they don't have some sort of travel update. So a lot of industry experts are weighing in that it might be early 2022 where we might see some sort of update where all the countries can come in without any sort of an issue. Again, the reason being that they're not going to have some sort of vaccine mandate for travelers coming in. A lot of people have also asked me, Fauci did mention that if we are mandating vaccines for travelers, even internal traveling or even international travel, whether we can expect this ban to go in. Again, as Jen Psaki mentioned, that is also going to stay, and there's no sort of procedure or pathway towards that. I also think, if you're having vaccine mandates and stuff, we can expect this a lot sooner, because that ensures that one, you're vaccinated, and one, for all the flights you need COVID test, and they take it very recently, at least 48 hours for you to board it in. So, and this doesn't make sense at all. But instead of being frustrated, all we can do is wait. A lot of politicians, a lot of political ambassadors of different countries have been reaching out to the Biden administration, and there is no sort of inertia, there is no sort of nudge in that direction. What has been said in August has still been implied till today. So yeah, all we can do is wait. I'll keep posting more and more on this, but I want to be truthful to you guys. I don't want to sugarcoat stuff and just say something wrong and then take my words back. So right now we're not seeing any sort of an update essentially. So like I said, if you have to travel, if it's super urgent, then yeah, might as well stay a little longer and then go for it, else take your own NIE approval. With that, hopefully you like this video. Do hit the like button and do hit the subscribe button as well. It really helps me out. It motivates me to create more videos like this and keep you guys informed as well. So thank you so much for watching. See you later. Bye.